Right now, the phone in your hand. The search that brought you here. Every line of code behind every screen you own. All of it runs on a single word. Algorithm. But that word is not a machine, and it is not English. It is a name. It belonged to a man who died 1,200 years ago in the city of Baghdad. And almost no one in the modern world can tell you who he was. That is the strangest part of this story. He left us two words that never left us. One runs every computer on Earth. The other is taught to every child in every school. This is the story of al-Khwarizmi and how one Muslim scholar's mathematics quietly became the language of the modern world. The 9th century. Rome is long fallen. The learning of Greece, India, and Persia lies scattered across a dozen languages. Half of it forgotten, rotting in libraries no one reads. 1,000 years of human genius going quietly to dust. There was no single place where a scholar could stand and see all of it at once. The knowledge of the world was real, and it was unreachable, and counting itself was a trap. In much of the world, you still wrote numbers as words, or as clumsy rows of strokes. Try multiplying in Roman numerals. The simplest sum nearly defeats you. The tools of thought themselves were broken. But in Baghdad, one caliph refused to let that knowledge die. His name was Al-Mamun. He built a place to gather all of it under one roof and paid scholars in gold to translate the world. They called it the House of Wisdom. Greek geometry, Persian astronomy, Indian arithmetic. For the first time in centuries, the learning of three civilizations sat on the same shelf. Baghdad in those years may have been the largest city on earth. Paper, money, and power met in one place, and the caliph spent all three on books. Into it walked a man from the far edge of the empire. From Khwarazm, a green oasis land east of the Caspian Sea in what is now Uzbekistan. His name carried his homeland with him, al-Khwarizmi, the one from Khwarazm. Around the year 820, Al-Mamun made him head of the great library. Surrounded by the knowledge of the world, he asked a different question. Not what is the answer, but is there a method that always works? A single procedure that could solve not one problem, but every problem of its kind. It is a strange kind of ambition. Not to be clever once, but to build something that makes cleverness unnecessary. His answer became a book. Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasar fi Hisab al-Jabr wal-Muqabala. The compendious book on calculation by restoration and balancing. Restoration. Take what has been subtracted from one side and give it back to the other. Balancing. Strike the same thing from both sides until only the answer is left. That word, Al-Jabr, the restoring. Say it aloud. It is the word we now say as Algebra. It sounds obvious now. That is what happens to the greatest ideas. They become invisible. This is why the world remembers him as the father of algebra. Others before him had brushed against these ideas, but al-Khwarizmi was the first to make it a subject of its own. A clear, step-by-step method that anyone could learn. And here is what almost no one tells you about that book. Open it, and you will not find a single equals sign. No X, no symbols, no notation of any kind. The father of algebra wrote every rule, every problem, and every proof, entirely in words. Sentences, where we would write a formula. The symbols we think algebra is would not arrive for centuries. He set out 6 kinds of equation, each with its own chapter and its own rule. 6, where today we teach 1.
Why 6?
Because he had no negative numbers. We can fold every case into a single formula only because we accept a number below nothing. He could not.
So he proved it the only way he could.
With geometry, cutting squares and rectangles, sliding them together until the square was whole again.
Completing the square.
A phrase every student still says today, 1,200 years later, without ever knowing whose hands first did it.
And who was it for?
Not kings, not astronomers. He wrote that his method was for the everyday justice of ordinary people, such as men constantly require in cases of inheritance, legacies, partition, lawsuits, and trade, or where the measuring of lands, the digging of canals are concerned.
The most powerful mathematics in history
Was born to settle a family's inheritance fairly. That was the heart of it. And algebra was only one room in his mind. He turned next to the sky. He produced tables, charting the sun, the moon, and the planets. 116 tables, drawing on Indian, Persian, and Greek astronomy, and giving the sign of an angle. Then he turned to the Earth itself. For 7 centuries, the map of the world had been Ptolemy's. In the year 833, al-Khwarizmi finished a book that quietly corrected him. Better positions for the cities of Asia and Africa, and a Mediterranean Sea measured far closer to its true length.
He did not simply inherit
The ancient world's knowledge. He checked it, and where it was wrong, he fixed it.
Then he did it again.
In a second book, he carried something even more revolutionary out of India.
Because the numbers
Were not his. 2 centuries earlier, an Indian mathematician named Brahmagupta had done something nobody had dared.
he treated nothing as a number.
He gave 0 its own rules and wrote them down. India gave the world the 0. Baghdad had already translated that Indian work into Arabic. What al-Khwarizmi did was explain it, order it, and hand it to everyone.
The 9 digits,
The 0 and the place value system, where a mark's position decides its worth. 1, 10, 100. From the same small sign, moved along a line. The 1, 2, 3 you write today, the numbers on every clock and every price tag, traveled west on his page. And here is where the story should have ended. A brilliant book, in Arabic, in one city. It didn't.
For 300 years his work waited.
Then Europe came looking. In the 12th century, in Toledo and across Spain, Christian, Jewish, and Muslim translators poured Arabic science into Latin.
An Englishman,
Adelard of Bath, carried over his tables. In 1145, Robert of Chester turned the algebra itself into Latin. The method was loose in Europe.
but Europe did not welcome the new numbers.
For centuries, merchants clung to the old counting board.
They even had names for the 2
sides. The Abacists, who kept to the counting board and the Roman numerals, and the Algorists, who used the new pen and paper method.
The Algorists.
Named, though they did not know it, after him.
In the year 1299,
The bankers of Florence were forbidden to use the new digits. The fear was fraud. A 0, they said, could be bent into a 6, a 1 into a 7. In 1202, a young Italian named Fibonacci had already written a book urging Europe to adopt them. It still took 300 years. The math that now runs the world was once feared as foreign,
and his name
traveled with it. Latin scribes could not say al-Khwarizmi, so they wrote it as they heard it. Algoritmi.
They did not know it was a man.
They thought the word meant the method, the new way of calculating with these numbers.
And slowly,
Across 1,000 years, it came to mean something larger. Any step-by-step procedure a machine can follow, an algorithm.
So look again at your screen.
Every search, every feed, every route your map chooses, every artificial intelligence that answers you.
All of it runs on algorithms.
And the word is a Muslim scholar's name, worn smooth by 1,000 years of use.
You have used his mathematics today.
Probably within the last minute, almost certainly without knowing his name.
In 1258,
The Mongols came for Baghdad. The House of Wisdom burned. Its libraries were destroyed. Its scholars scattered.
everything Al-Mamun had gathered.
Every shelf, every translation was gone in a matter of days.
But you cannot burn a method.
By then, al-Khwarizmi's ideas had already escaped into Latin, into Spain, into Europe, into every language that counts, which is to say, all of them.
1,200 years after his death,
We went looking for names to give the far side of the moon. And on a crater no human eye had ever seen from Earth, they wrote his.
his 2 words,
Outlived every empire of his age. Algebra, taught to every child on Earth. Algorithm, the heartbeat of every machine.
one man,
From a green oasis east of the Caspian, who only ever wanted a method that always works.
Crescent and Monsoon.
A new chapter every week. Subscribe and travel with us. I'm Ahmad.